Hello ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Being Conscious. In today's video, we are going to talk about the royal planets. The planets which need no introduction, are planets which fill an individual with unexplainable charisma, a royal calm, a confidence which needs no voice, a confidence which is quite calm but yet loud. Today, we are going to talk about the royal planets Sun and Moon and how each one of us can enhance the qualities of these royal planets to claim our regal throne. Now, to begin with, it is often said that Sun and Moon are portals of consciousness. Now, what does consciousness truly mean? Now let's talk about a hypothetical scenario wherein you have all the wealth in the world, but you are in a state of coma, which today's medical field calls coma, wherein your brain has lost any kind of disconnection with your other limbic body parts, meaning there is a disconnection between your consciousness and your external world. Now, when such an event happens, when such a situation exists, though you have everything in your mind, though you have everything in your immediate environment, you are unable to feel it, you are unable to live life normally. The reason I brought this example up is we all need to understand the immense importance of consciousness. The fact that you're watching this video, the fact that I am talking, it's only because we are alive. I have life within me to talk, and you have life within you to hear what I'm talking. Now, this is a very gross way to understand consciousness, but there is another way which you could understand the subtle layers of consciousness. Now, let's say you are having a chaotic day. Let's say everything what you had planned for the day is not happening the way it was supposed to happen, and your mind is filled with chaos. Your mind is filled with total calamity. Your mind is in absolute mess. Now, in such a state of mind, even if you have the most scrumptious meal in your table, do you think you'll actually be able to enjoy it? Because your state of consciousness is engrossed by that chaos. Now, from a psychological standpoint, consciousness means the ability to look at reality without any filters. But very few people in modern times are without filters. We are all subjected to different layers of conditioning based on our experiences, based on the way we were brought up, and based on the stories we told ourselves based on those experiences. Now, the reason this filter, this understanding, this shadow thought process, this conditioning is very important to understand is because through this conditioning we view the outside world. We actually don't view the world as it is, but we view the world through our conditioning. And this is where the role of awareness, the role of consciousness comes into picture. Because awareness precedes change. If you are unable to break through, if you are unable to see through things, if you are unable to witness reality as it is, that means somewhere in your chart, Sun and Moon, the portals of consciousness, are afflicted. Now, when the portals of consciousness are afflicted, the nodes, which are called the shadow planets, the south node and the north node, are always in a state of high. They are always dominating your state of consciousness, and you are always living in a state of illusion. You are always either living in a state of fear, in a state of lack, wherein you are always wondering, you are always thinking about what can go wrong. You are in a state of perpetual unease. You are in a state of perpetual anxiety, which means you're thinking constantly of the future, which means Rahu has taken over your brain, or you're constantly stuck in a state of helplessness and in a state of melancholy, means you have strong resentments towards what happened in the past. which is signified by Ketu. Now, in this dichotomy, in this rat race between past and future, you forget to enjoy the present moment. You forget to enjoy the present moment, which is represented by Jupiter. Now, Sun, Moon, and Jupiter are extremely powerful planets in a horoscope, and it is often said that if a person has great yogas, they will fail to provide its results if the portals of consciousness, the source of consciousness, Sun and Moon, are weak in an individual's chart. Even if you think about this from a normal psychological standpoint, even if you think about this from a practical standpoint, keeping aside astrology, imagine that you have all the great opportunities at your table. Maybe you are a son of a rich businessman and you have the most powerful network, meaning you a phone call away, you are just a phone call away from talking to the biggest person in the city. But imagine a scenario wherein you were never equipped, you never developed yourself, you never developed your competence, you never developed that level of awareness about that specific field of subject, that opportunity is useless to you. Robin Sharma puts it beautifully in his book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, when he defined luck as the marriage of preparation and opportunity. If you have great opportunities but you're not prepared, luck doesn't exist for you. Because what would you do of those opportunities if you don't have the right level of competence? So all those people who always keep blaming about the luck element, competence and opportunity gives rise to luck. And this is why it's very important to strengthen our portals of consciousness. And the greater your strength, greater the strength of these portals of consciousness, the more powerful your ability to overcome the illusions of the mind, which is noted by Rahu and Ketu. Now, let's talk about the practical aspects. How do you know if your sun or moon are good or not? Now, there is one part to technically look at your birth chart, go through the different divisions, the 16 divisions, and that can be a complete exercise. It has to be a technically robust exercise. But the easier way is to look at the symptoms of whether you have a good sun or a bad sun. Now, the most easiest way to identify whether you have a good sun or not, do you have a disciplined lifestyle? If you're someone who loves junk food more than eating healthy, if you're someone who likes instant gratification instead of delayed gratification, that shows that somewhere down the line your sun is afflicted. If the need for validation, if the need for societal approval is higher, and you are constantly seeking validation from the world at large, this tells me that somewhere down the line your sun is afflicted. Because if your sun is strong, if your sun has dignity in its strength, then you will never ever seek approval. You will embody a calm confidence. You will embody a powerful presence because you know what you're doing and your work needs no validation. On the contrary, if sun is not good, you will feel distracted in countless directions. Your energy is scattered instead of being focused on one single point. In today's world, the biggest enemy is unorganized thought. Let me repeat that because it's absolutely important and it's so easy to miss. The biggest enemy in today's world is unorganized thought. Because think about it, in a given amount of time, each of us has 24 hours. And in those 24 hours, if your thoughts are unorganized, whatever you do, from the smallest of action to the biggest of stuff you're working on, there are going to be traces of unorganization there. There are going to be traces of inefficiency because your thoughts are not organized. Your cognitive bandwidth is split in 10 different directions, and you are not able to give your 100% in one specific action. Multitasking is the biggest scam of the century, because remember, at a given point of time, there's only one task you can focus on. Sure, you may have 10 subsequent tasks, but at a given point of time, there's only one task one can fully focus on. And the ability to focus on one specific thing is directly proportional to the strength of your sun. And this is the reason sun is also the natural karaka, or the ruler of the 5th house. Now, 5th house is also called the house of passion, the house of creativity. Have you ever wondered, do you have to focus hard for things you love? It happens naturally. Focus happens effortlessly. Maybe you loved cooking, maybe you enjoyed painting. Do you think you had to focus hard? Focus is effortless. And this is why it's important to inculcate a passion in your life. Because passion doesn't only keep your inner child within you alive, but it also spreads through other domains of your life, enhancing the aliveness, enhancing the energy of each and every activity you're pouring your energy into. And this is very important to understand, because sun is also the karaka of vitality. Sun is also the karaka of the human body, the level of immunity. Are you someone who gets sick often? That means your sun is afflicted. Are you someone who has a great immunity? And you probably don't even remember when was the last time you ever felt sick. Then congratulations, my friend, you have a phenomenal sun. Are you someone who is an early riser? Then your sun is great. Are you someone who operates through the king mindset, where you always work through this mindset of what I can bring to the table, irrespective of the validation or recognition I could possibly achieve? And congratulations, my friend, you have a great sun. Now, since we spoke about so many elements of sun, you probably have a good understanding by now where your sun stands. Now, what are the ways through which you can better your sun? Maybe you realize your sun is not so good. So the first thing is to organize your thoughts, is to build a game plan for the day, is to build a vision for the day. And every time you are able to tick down on the to-do list which you build, your subconscious is rewired, and your subconscious gets a message that this person is a go-getter, this person is focused on his goals, and he makes sure that whatever he writes down, he executes them with great precision, and he gets the work done. And then focus is not a skill, focus is a habit. Focus becomes a part of your system, and it becomes effortless to focus. Now let's talk about the next portal of consciousness, planet Moon. Now planet Moon is that particular planet which has the ownership of emotions. Emotion is normally called energy in motion. What this means, we all are a product of our energies. And your state of mind reflects the quality of work you do. Imagine a person who has a great state of mind. The quality of work which would come out from such a person would be more efficient and would be in a state of great clarity, versus a person who has a disturbed state of mind. It is said in today's corporate world that emotional intelligence is ranked higher than intelligent quotient. The reason why that is the case is we are living in a AI disruptive world, where AI can do more things than an average human being. Now, what is really going to be important in today's day and age is what is called as emotional quotient, the ability to regulate your emotions as per the situation, the ability to adapt yourself for a given situation. That is a quality of a strong moon. If your moon is strong, your emotional quotient is strong. You have a high EQ. Your ability to work with chaotic environments in a self-regulated manner is high. If your moon is strong, the ability to not be affected by the chaos around you is high. Instead, your ability to influence others with your sense of calm and ease is higher. And this is the reason why when moon is strong, such people are natural crowd pullers. Reason being, there's a charisma in their demeanor. And how do we improve this moon? By regulating the water content in your body. The fact that 70% of human body is made of water speaks volumes about the importance of this planet. 70% of human body is water. Not only human body, there's a famous saying in Sanskrit which says Yat Pinda Tat Brahmandi, meaning what is there in the macrocosms is also aware, exists in the microcosm. So when you have a good hold of your emotions, when you regulate your emotional body, moon works out well for you. So I hope my today's video on the importance of sun and moon made sense to you. And if you are someone who wants to rise to a royal patronage, if you want to be known as royalty, it is an indispensable need to work on these two portals of consciousness. I often like to metaphorize sun and moon as the two eyes. Imagine how easy our life is with these two eyes, and imagine what would happen if either of these eyes lost its vision. That's how important sun and moon are. Thank you so much for your time on my video. If you really like the video, please do share with your well-wishers, friends and people who you really care about. Also do subscribe to my channel if you love the content of this video. Thank you so much, and I'll meet you in the next video. Bye.